You know what that sound means, Slick Vic? And you know what that sound means. It means that we're back with some more Wrestling with Power. I'm your host, Mr. Mosley, and joining me, as per the usual, the Oracle himself, the wielder of the Triforce of Wisdom, Mr. Slick Vic.
Mr. Mosley, thank you for that marvelous introduction. I couldn't have said it better myself.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Much deserved. But remains to be seen, because here in a couple of weeks, we're going to be bringing back Slick Vic's picks. That's right. We are just over 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 42. And my, oh my, what a week it has been. Raw and SmackDown this past week. I tell you what, Slick Vic, I would be pissed off if I was somebody who had bought tickets for Raw or SmackDown in the last 4 months, considering the level of show that we got this past week, because a lot's happened. They've cram-packed the WrestleMania 42 card. Titles are flying all over the place. People are flying all over the place.
Cram-packed? I don't think I've ever heard that term before. Did you just make that up?
Maybe. You heard it here first. But yes, we're just over 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 42, which means, more importantly than anything else, Slick Vic's Picks is coming back here in about 2 weeks. As a matter of fact, if I pull up the old docket here, the old planogram, the card, if you will, for you marks out there.
Very
extensive. We have. So this week, of course, is episode 34. We are live right now on Facebook. And tonight we're going to be talking about, we got some news to talk about, some breaking news that just broke today. SmackDown review, of course, Raw review. Vic's going to be bringing us some This Day in Wrestling history. We're going to be looking at the WrestleMania 42 card so far, because once we get done with our reviews of Raw and SmackDown, as you're going to see, that card has grown immensely. If you're watching us live on Facebook, and I will try to get this on the YouTube version of the episode whenever I upload it. If I can get the gimmick up there, I say gimmick, but it's really like a graphic that I've made, where it'll show all the matches of the card of WrestleMania so far. But if you're watching live on Facebook, no problem. We're going to show it to you right now in a few moments. Stick with us. But I've also made one for Slick Vic's Picks. We're not going to show that just yet, because Slick Vic's Picks is here in 2 weeks. So next week, of course, with episode 35, we're going to be probably doing our... Well, actually, Vic, what do you think? I think we should probably do, if we're going to continue our WrestleMania 42 card predictions, the card's pretty full. So I don't think there's going to be a whole lot more predictions we can do. We should probably wrap that up tonight and do the final WrestleMania 42 card predictions. Because next week, of course, on the docket is our retro review. So we have to do a retro WrestleMania next week. And as of yet to be revealed, we have not yet revealed which one that's going to be. So follow us on Facebook if you haven't to find out here in the next few days. And then the week after, Slick Vic's Picks. Hopefully they don't add anything after that. But if the last week has been anything to go by, man, we went so long without knowing anything that was going to be happening at WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden this past week, it's like, boom, 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 matches, titles are switching hands, like everything's going crazy. But I will say this, Slick Vic, we have nailed a few of those predictions that we've been making over the past couple of weeks. Have you noticed that?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, only the best can do such a thing.
Yes. Great minds think alike, ladies and gentlemen. Only here on Wrestling with Power will you find such genius. But Slick Vic, let's go ahead and hop into the docket here. The first thing up for grabs is the gimmick of the week. Last week we decided not to do the gimmick, and we had a few unfortunate passings that we had to talk about and some news, and we wanted to carve out some time for that. By the way, I didn't mention, we are going to be doing some more WWE trivia tonight, so that's going to cap off the show at the end of the night. But anyway, we're bringing back the gimmick this week. Once again, I am providing the gimmick. Slick Vic can see the gimmick back here. Everybody can see the gimmick, but you can't see it that good, can you? You don't exactly know what it is.
I can't wait to get a close-up.
My championship is back here, but the gimmick is sitting in front of it, so let's take a look at the gimmick, and we'll talk about that for a moment. Just sure to get some discussion out of this guy. Slick Vic, I'm going to ask you, can you tell me what this item is?
That is a werewolf from Altered Beast, which I believe is a Sega Genesis game.
Yes. A Sega Genesis. Actually, this game, Altered Beast, was actually an arcade game that they ported to the Sega Genesis. It was one of the first Sega Genesis games. One of the very early Sega Genesis games. But I think it started out as an arcade game. Yes, this is a action figure of the werewolf. I found this at Walmart. It was on clearance. I don't remember how much it was, but I had seen this guy months and months and months ago, and I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need to be buying toys for myself. I'm an old man. But then when they put it on sale, I couldn't resist. So yes, we have the werewolf with one of the little power orbs over here. And of course, you play as a revived Titan or whatever person. You come back to life. You have to go save whatever. One of the gals. I think it's Zeus's daughter or something like that. But you get these power orbs. Altered Beast is a side-scrolling game. You fight stuff. You get to the end. You fight the boss. There's 5 levels. You get these power orbs, and when you grab an orb, he says, "Power up," which I love. I have that soundbite. Actually, if you follow me on Twitch, on my gaming channel on Twitch, Mosley PHG, whenever I go live, it says Mosley is powered up in big capital letters. Because Power Hour, right? So you do power up. You get 1, 2, and then when you get your 3rd, you turn into an animal. And depending on what level you're playing on is what beast you turn into. So the werewolf is from level 1. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it looks really cool. I never open my figures anymore, obviously, but this would be a cool one. If I was a kid, I would have absolutely loved to have this because I was a big fan of Altered Beast. I had this game on the Sega Genesis when I was young, and I loved it. I played the crap out of it. Very short game. There's a couple of cheat codes you can use to make it easier or to get back to the level that you were on if you die. But it's a very nostalgic game for me as it pertains to my childhood. So Slick Vic, I think you told us once did you have a Sega Genesis when you were young?
I did not, no.
You had any friends that had a Sega Genesis?
Yeah. I did play some Genesis, not a whole lot. When I think of the Genesis, there's a couple games that come to mind. Obviously, Sonic and Streets of Rage was one I played a lot. Yeah. There was an X-Men game I remember digging.
Was it Arcade's Revenge?
No, I think it was just called X-Men.
Oh, okay.
It's the one where you have the level select code. You have to input the level select code, and there's like 8 panels that you have to like kneel before and crouch down, and you can get into a level. I don't know if that cheat code sounds familiar at all to you or not.
I don't think I played that game at all. I played Spider-Man on the Sega Genesis.
Okay.
Which was really hard.
And I played the WWE game, the WWF, Royal Rumble, WWF, Monday Night Raw.
Raw, yeah.
Yeah, but not a whole lot of Genesis for me, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, as a young lad, I had a Genesis, and I had a lot of Genesis. I take that back. I really didn't have a lot of Genesis games, but, back in the day, video rental places were commonplace. And so every weekend that I would go to my dad's, he would take me by the video rental place. I'd rent some Sega Genesis games. And that's how I played a lot of those Genesis games when I was a kid. Star Trek, Echoes from the Past, Spider-Man, I'm trying to think of a few more. Boogerman. I ended up buying these games later on, but those were games that were in my regular rotation. Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 1. I had Mortal Kombat 3, but I used to rent 2 and 1 all the time. And I loved it. And still to this day, I'm more a fan of Mortal Kombat on the Genesis than I am the Super Nintendo. So argue with me all you want. It ain't gonna matter. I love the Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat games.
Tell me about the Beavis and Butthead game on the Genesis.
The Beavis and Butthead game, yes, that was another one I used to rent all the time, and I ended up buying it. I have it now. But Vic, you and I played that a little bit.
We did. Yeah.
Me and my brother also played that back in the day. The Beavis and Butthead game on the Genesis was fantastic. Okay, I know, and they had it for Game Boy. They had it for. I think there was a Beavis and Butthead arcade. I think the Ghost has it, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And then there was one for the Super Nintendo. Well, here's the thing. Beavis and Butthead on the Super Nintendo is a completely different game from the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
The Sega Genesis is more of a side, or the Super Nintendo is more of like a side-scrolling, you get through the level type thing. Whereas Sega Genesis, it's side-scrolling, it's 2D side-scroller, but it's like, I don't even know what you would call it. If you would call it an RPG or what, but you have to go around gathering like items, and like you'll go to one location and get an item, and then you'll have to go to a completely different location to use that item to get a piece of a ticket, and eventually it's a really fucking hard game too. But if you there's a password system and all that stuff to continue, but eventually if you assemble the complete ticket, you get to go to the Gwar concert at the end of the game. And my tattoo right here, if you can see it, is I found, I know I'm a little hairy, but I found a picture of Beavis and Butthead just sitting on their couch, just, as you would expect them to look. And I got Butthead and my brother got Beavis, so he has the other half of the couch with Beavis on it, so that when we put our arms together, it makes the whole picture. And normally this image that I pulled this from, they're holding nachos. They're eating nachos. But I had the tattoo artist swap out the nacho for a Gwar ticket. So this is specifically... let me see if I can pull this guy over here. Let me take a... I don't know if you can see it, but...
I can see it.
It's like red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that is an homage right there on my skin to the Beavis and Butthead game for Sega Genesis. And Beavis and Butthead in general.
Have you seen the memes going around of CM Punk and Butthead?
Yeah. He does favor him quite a bit, don't he?
Same energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man.
Good stuff.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. But that's been some good old retro talk, as we like to have here on Wrestling with Power. Fun times. Slick Vic, speaking of retro, man, there was some breaking news today. Shall I hit my breaking news song? Where's the breaking? There it is.
Hit it.
Breaking news. Hogan versus Andre at WrestleMania 3 is going into the Hall of Fame this year as the Immortal Moment. Remember last year they made the head of Stone Cold and Bret Hart? And their match at WrestleMania 13?
13.
That was the Immortal Moment. This year we're getting Hogan versus Andre at WrestleMania 3. It goes without saying, if you're going to have this category, yes, this match belongs in there. But to be honest with you, I think this is sort of a weird category. And my first question was, who's going to accept this award?
Yeah, I had the same question.
Who gets the award? Brooke Hogan? Come out.
I mean, Andre's got a daughter, if I'm not mistaken, too. I don't know if they'll find her and bring her out.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen her a little bit. The last I heard, she sold Andre's house. He had a house somewhere, and it was his house. It was his house. It was Andre the Giant's house, and she ended up selling it. So I don't know if she wants anything to do with it or not. But yeah, that was my question. Like, who accepts this award?
Obviously, like you said. I mean, Nick was at all the tribute shows for Hogan. Yeah. So I think there's a good possibility it's Nick.
I think,
but as for Andre, I don't know.
In a perfect world, you would have Andre's daughter and Nick to accept the awards. I think that would be great. But just like we were talking about last week, I don't know. I'm curious to see who's going to induct all the actual Hall of Fame inductees. Now I'm curious to see who's going to accept this award. I'm almost more pumped for the Hall of Fame than I am WrestleMania at this point.
I just I'm not looking. I don't know. Are you going to watch it live? It's going to be like. Do you remember last year the Hall of Fame was?
It was late. It was
really late. Into the wrestlers themselves were falling asleep in the crowd. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's going to be like that again.
Yes.
Seriously.
From what I've heard, yeah. I mean, I have to. You can fact check me, but I believe it's going to be on like late, maybe on a Friday night, or after SmackDown.
Okay, we'll look it up here. Hall of Fame 2026. Let's see. Friday, April 17th at 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, that's not too late. That's not late at all. Wait a minute.
876, so it's going to start 6 my time and 5 your time, right?
Wait, Pacific time.
Pacific is 3 hours ahead of me.
Yeah, you're right. That's the West Coast. Okay, yeah. So 6 o'clock you, 8 o'clock. I mean, 6 o'clock them, 8 o'clock me, 9 o'clock you. But
flip that around. 9 o'clock them, 6 o'clock me, 5 o'clock you.
Oh, well, 5 o'clock. So it's going to be before SmackDown?
You're an hour behind me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very interesting.
You're on Central Time. Hold on. It'll take place. Tickets will go on sale. Yeah, March the 2nd. Wait. In Las Vegas, Friday, April 17th, WWE in partnership. So, yeah. Friday, April 17th at 9 p.m. Pacific time. 876. So that'd be 6 o'clock my time. Yeah, it would be on before SmackDown. Maybe they're going to pre-tape SmackDown, or maybe they're going to pre-tape this.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at WWE right now, and it's telling me. Wait, I just lost it.
When is SmackDown on that day? Are they going to?
For me, it's always 7 p.m.
Yeah, but I mean
Central
on that
time.
day.
I don't know why it wouldn't be a different time.
Because of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe they'll do SmackDown early in the day. Or maybe, I tell you what they should do. They should do, and I don't know if this is what's going on, but they should do the Hall of Fame early in the day, and then do SmackDown at the normal time, and that's it.
Yeah.
Let everybody get out of there, get home, get some rest, whatever they got to do. Why not, right? I don't know. This is the information I'm getting, and this is directly on WWE.com. Friday, April 17th, 9 p.m. Pacific time.
Well, I guess that's the.
Or are they behind?
That's what we're looking forward to.
Are they behind us? You know what? Maybe I'm stupid. And hold on, let me figure this. Let me figure this out. All right, if it is 10:20 a.m. Pacific time, then it is 1:20 p.m. Eastern. 11, 12, 1. All right, I was completely wrong about that. So,
where's your Steiner math, man?
My Steiner math is fucked. So that means, Slick Vic, that 9 p.m. Pacific time is going to be 12 a.m. Eastern time, and 11 for you.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right now.
All right. Now we have our... Okay, so you know what? Fuck Pacific time. That's all I got to say.
Back the Pacific time.
Fuck.
Fucking bullshit.
That's one soundbite I need. I'm going to look for that here in just a few moments. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that fiasco. We were 10 minutes of just idiocracy here.
We're live, pal. We're live, pal.
We're live, pal. 9 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so Pacific time is 3 hours earlier than Eastern time. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Sounds good, pal. But yeah, that's it. Don't know who's going to accept this award, but there it is. That is the Immortal Moment Award for 2026 Hall of Fame. Andre versus Hogan, WrestleMania 3. Well deserved. Can't wait to see who accepts it. Slick Vic, shall we move on to some This Week in WWE, because a lot happened.
Please, let's move on.
All right, let's go. Let's talk about SmackDown then.
Wait, we're not talking about this day in wrestling history?
I thought we were going to do that after Raw. We can do this day in wrestling history right now if you want to.
Let's do it, man. We're already talking retro stuff. Let's
I'm all for that idea. Yeah.
Let's do it, man, because this is a big one. This is on this day in 85. So what are we at now? 41 years ago. Let's not do the math wrong.
Don't ask me to math again the rest of this episode. I'm done.
All right. The very first, the inaugural WrestleMania happened on this day. So what a day. Now, you know, I have very, very little memory of watching this. I watched it once way back in the day and never revisited it. It's not exactly a great WrestleMania. In fact, I'd say it's pretty forgettable at times. You know, there's a lot of not forgettable at times. The main events are memorable, but nobody says anything about the undercard.
Yeah.
But you know, the main event, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff, with, I believe, Cowboy Bob was in their corner. Yeah, he had the cast and everything. Mike Tyson is like the outside referee,
you mean
the troubleshooting
referee.
Mike Tyson, yeah, Muhammad Ali, yes.
Ron Black boxer there, Slick.
Pat Patterson is the special guest referee for the in-ring portion of the match.
Yeah.
There's so much talk about Piper and Mr. T's backstage tension, so to speak. They didn't. Nobody wanted to sell for Mr. T. They were not happy that a celebrity was coming in. And for a long time, up until the Hall of Fame of WrestleMania 30, there was bad blood. I don't know if you remember Piper saying. I don't know if you heard Piper ever tell these stories, but they're good stories. Piper's they're very interesting stories. Piper and Mr. T's contentious relationship, is that the right word? Yes.
Yes.
And then Wendy Richter and Leilani Kai, who had Cyndi Lauper played a big role during this time in the WWE, the part of the whole rock and wrestling, which brought them to new heights. And of course, there was Andre the Giant and Big John Studd in a body slam challenge. Yes. I just remember the ending where Andre gets the bag of money. I believe that was a trivia question that I got wrong. How much was in that bag?
How much did he win? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I can double check to see if you got that one wrong or not real quick.
Andre is throwing the money in the crowd when he wins. Bobby Heenan gets in the way. Good stuff. Fun times.
Yeah, you missed that one.
Do you have any memories of WrestleMania 1? Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it. When I think of WrestleMania 1, I think of that opening. I think of when it cuts to the ring and it's just Gorilla Monsoon, doing his normal thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the wrestling extravaganza of all time, WrestleMania. And it's like, you mentioned that it's forgettable. I think that if it wasn't for it being so successful later on, it would be forgettable, but it is the first. So we should go back and revisit it and give it a little more credit, but it's kind of hard to do in this day and age. I think for its time, it was massive. You know, it was
Absolutely.
it was just as massive as a lot of the WrestleManias that we see today, and a lot of the things that happen at WrestleMania that we see today. It's just like back then it was unheard of. You didn't have wrestling in mainstream. Wrestling was like this niche thing, and then all of a sudden you've got these Hollywood actors being a part of it, these Muhammad Ali, for God's sakes. You've got musicians and things like you mentioned with what's her name? Girls Just Want to Have Fun being there. Cyndi Lauper. And it was, and even Liberace was there too. So there, it was a big deal because they were mixing with other forms of media, whether it be movies or music or anything. They had the whole MTV connection. It was a huge deal. It's just that it's been so outshined since then. It's hard to look back on it and see how important it was at this point, 40 whatever years later. But yeah, I've watched it. It seems like I've not watched it enough because I started to watch it not long ago, and I was like, I don't remember any of this shit. But yeah, WrestleMania 1. Maybe one day we'll do a retro review. Maybe next week we'll do a retro review of WrestleMania 1. Who knows? But yeah, definitely we'll get around to doing it one day.
Rounding out the card is Tito Santana versus the Executioner, King Kong Bundy versus Special Delivery Jones or SD Jones, Ricky Steamboat versus Matt Bourne, who was the first Doink the Clown, Brutus the Barber, or he's just Brutus Beefcake at the time, versus David Sammartino, Junkyard Dog and Greg Valentine, and finally the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov versus the U.S. Express.
So with the David, what was that match again?
David Sammartino and Brutus Beefcake?
David Sammartino and Brutus Beefcake. David Sammartino is the son of Bruno Sammartino, and Bruno was in his corner. I remember them cutting the promo beforehand where I don't remember who Brutus had in his corner, but he was like, if Bruno tries anything, I'm going to knock him out. And Bruno was like, I'm going to knock him out. And all, so but this is an MSG, and they had to be hot for that. It's sort of hard to articulate the importance of that. But I got a question. Why did Gorilla always call him Brudeye?
Did he call him Brudeye?
Brudeye, yeah.
Well, Hogan always, later on in WCW, didn't Hogan call him Brother Brutai?
He might have, but Gorilla always said Brudeye. Got the, I don't know. I always thought that was weird. I thought you might know that. I thought you might have that information in your head of yours.
I don't, but I do have a Brutus's manager that night. It was Johnny Valiant.
Johnny Valiant. There you go.
Luscious Johnny Valiant.
Yes. So.
All right. So WrestleMania 1 happened. There's another WrestleMania that happened that day. It was WrestleMania 12. This was.
You were at WrestleMania 12, were you?
No, I was not. WrestleMania 12 was in Anaheim, California.
Well, it was 13?
13 was in Chicago, and I was not there. Our Hyrulean friend was there, but I was not.
Yeah, that's right. He was there, yeah.
But WrestleMania 12, some say it's a one-match card, but it also has a lot of memorable moments.
A one-match card? WrestleMania 12?
I've heard some people refer to this as a one-match card. That's, well...
The Goldust and Roddy Piper wasn't like one of the biggest things there. That was great.
That was fun. Yeah. He's chasing him on the highway.
They stole clips from OJ's chase scene down the highway and used it.
But the main event was Bret the Hitman Hart versus Shawn Michaels in a 60-minute Iron Man match. Now, this is a very polarizing main event. Now, I have to go back and watch it. I haven't watched it in many, many years. But, there's no pinfalls, a lot of rest holds, a lot of, I guess psychology is the term to use. Just a lot of slow, methodical, scientific wrestling to kill some time. And there was no pinfalls during the whole time. Any memories of that match?
Yeah. I know that match, Bret Hart has said that they called it in the ring. They didn't talk about it beforehand, so everything was kind of happening on the fly right there. I remember the ending. I remember there being no falls and Bret Hart leaving, and what is it, Jack Tunney or somebody comes out and he's like, we've ordered the match to continue. Sudden death rules. And he's like, why? And then, of course, Shawn Michaels wins the thing. But yeah, it's an hour long. If you look at Iron Man matches today, they don't happen often. But I know that in recent years, there have been a few Iron Women matches where they do like 30 minutes. So I think the hour-long Iron Man match is sort of a thing of the past. But this was a good one. I mean, it's a great match. It really is a great match. You don't fall asleep during it if you're paying attention. You know, it's a really, really solid match. It's probably, up there, easily top 5 Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, both, each one.
You know what I remember also about this match is after Shawn gets the pin, there's that moment where he tells the referee, like, tell Bret to get that fuck out of my ring or something like that. Yeah. And that was actually a work. Like, that fooled everybody. We all thought it was a shoot because Bret, the camera follows Bret to the back, who's like face palming.
I didn't know that was a work.
That was a work.
When he tells Earl Hebner to tell Bret to get the fuck out of the ring?
Yeah.
Huh.
I am 99% sure that's a work. I mean,
I thought that it was just like you give the ring to the winner, and Bret wasn't getting out, so Shawn was pissed because they have bad blood anyway. So then, Shawn was.
Go ahead.
No, Shawn was just being a dick. So,
elsewhere on the card is Undertaker extending his WrestleMania streak by beating Diesel. The Ultimate Warrior made his second return. Yeah. Where he squashed Triple H in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin beat Savio Vega by technical knockout. And then you mentioned earlier Roddy Piper and Goldust in the Hollywood Backlot Brawl.
Yep.
We had Camp Cornette, which was Owen Hart, the British Bulldog, and Vader versus Ahmed Johnson, Jake Roberts, and Yokozuna. I remember they originally announced Vader versus Yokozuna in a one-on-one match for this show. Boy, the ring would have had to been reinforced for that one. And then on the pre-show, the Huckster versus the Nacho Man.
Oh, man.
With Billionaire Ted as the special guest referee.
I don't remember that at all. Was that hilarious?
I don't remember. I'm sure it was probably terrible. But do you remember the vignettes? The Huckster,
yeah, I remember the vignettes,
Nacho?
yeah.
Those were fun. I like those. Those were kind of funny, I remember they were on Larry Fling, or I should say Billionaire Ted was on Larry Fling, and the Nacho Man calls in. He's like, this is Randy from Sarasota.
Yeah.
And then later on when the Huckster calls in, it's Terry from Tampa.
Yeah. The Huckster.
Well, as for the rest of this day in wrestling history, there's a night after WrestleMania. WrestleMania 24. Ric Flair gave a nice little speech. I don't know if this is the one where he says, "I will never retire." No, I don't think that was the case here.
No, that wasn't that. No, the night after was his farewell speech where everybody came out and
that's right.
He had the big send off. WrestleMania 24 is one of my favorite WrestleManias. Would you consider that a modern WrestleMania? Probably not at this point. That was more PG era. Would that be more PG era WrestleMania?
Yeah, for sure.
I think that was the greatest PG era WrestleMania, in my opinion. 24. Okay. Loved it.
And then the night after, that was 2008. Backing up to 2003, the night after WrestleMania 19, Goldberg made his WWE debut, where he speared The Rock.
Yeah, speared him out of his boots.
Yeah, I remember the promos after that. The Rock just eviscerated Goldberg on the mic for like a week or a month before Goldberg got beat him at Backlash. But The Rock was just laying into him really hard with some really stiff shots on the mic. Good stuff.
There was no way that Goldberg was going to fight back on the microphone. None.
Anyways, thus concludes this day in wrestling history. Shall we move on to SmackDown now?
That was a great This Day in Wrestling History, Slick Vic. But you know what? I'd like to take a pause for the cause before we move on to some modern wrestling. I need to readjust my brain before we move out of the retro sphere, if you will.
Good call. Good call.
So we'll move on to some SmackDown and Raw right now in just a few moments. We will be right back. All right, we're back. Let's talk about some SmackDown, Slick Vic.
All right, SmackDown coming at you from Pittsburgh and March 27th. So the show opens with Randall Keith Orton coming to the ring.
Good old Randall.
He basically recaps what's been going on with him and Cody for the uninitiated. He says he shut the voices out a long time ago, but Cody gave him his blessings, so he's listening to the voices in his head again. It's everyone else's voices that are the problem, though. And then Matt Cardona comes to the ring, decks Orton with a mic, and demands Orton get back in the ring. And in the back, Nick Aldis tells Trick Williams he's going to WrestleMania. Sami Zayn comes in and asks what he's doing at WrestleMania. Nick tells him unless something changes, he is not on the show. Sami looks like he's going to walk away, but instead turns around and hits Trick and says, I will have a match at WrestleMania. Oh, I will. And then Randy Orton demands a match with Matt Cardona. Otherwise, the voices are going to Otherwise, the voices say something bad is going to happen. Despite the fact that Cardona has an injured arm, Nick Aldis grants it anyway. So that's kind of irresponsible, but wrestling. Yeah. All right. That was a lot of heavy talking to start the show. Any words of wisdom? Any thoughts on Randy, Nick, Trick, Sami, Matt?
So this is setting the stage. And of course, like we mentioned earlier, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of build that happens to WrestleMania. And this is sort of the setting the stage for that, as we'll see as you continue your review. I thought it was hilarious when he hit him in the head with that microphone because it makes that sound.
Yeah.
That sound, know, I love that. But, other than that, okay.
Do you think Matt Cardona should get a match with Randy with an injured arm?
I mean, if he wants it bad enough, he's going to get it. And I think he wants it bad enough, so.
Okay. So we have the Bella Twins versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. But first, the Irresistible Forces come out to promote their tag team title match against Bayley and Lyra on Raw. All right, so this match has a lot of hip swinging from both Charlotte and Nikki. Charlotte pretty much stole the taunt to No Mercy style in N64. The match is rather slow and uninteresting until the end when Charlotte gets the hot tag and starts doing her thing. The Bella Twins hit a heart attack on Alexa, which was a nice homage. They got a pop out of me. And the match ends when Lash Legend hits Alexa with a cheap shot and Brie rolls her up for the win. So, like you mentioned, this is all about continuing the build. And wouldn't you know? We were correct. We were building to a multi-women's match at WrestleMania.
Yes. And you were correct about that, Slick Vic. Let me give you some credit because you guessed this a while back. I think the first edition of the WrestleMania card predictions, which was, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Something like that?
Something like that.
You said right at the top. Actually, I can tell you. We had part 3 last week, so this will be the fourth tonight, the fourth week. So 4 weeks ago, you said a 4-way women's tag title match, and here we are. Good call.
All right. I don't know if there's going to be enough crystal ball energy for Slick Vic's picks, man. The card is getting pretty heavy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm so used to calling 4 matches, and we're already at 12.
I believe in you, Vic. I think you've had several months to prepare for this, so yeah, I believe in you.
All right. Backstage, R-Truth tells Damian Priest they are rebuilding the Judgment Day clubhouse. Whatever. Jelly Roll shows up, and Truth confuses him for Dominic Mysterio. I don't know how you make that mix up, but okay. And then Rhea Ripley shows up. Jelly Roll gives her a pep talk to hype her up for her match against Jade at WrestleMania. And then Rhea and Damian have a nice moment where they hype each other up like old times. Classic Judgment Day stuff. All right, so we have a NXT Origin video on Tiffany Stratton. And then backstage, the Bellas and Alexa are still arguing, saying, "This isn't over." Have you got any insight, or let me get the insight in your mind for any of this previous stuff?
I'm kind of empty on that. I don't have much insight on that Slick Vic.
Let's move on.
At all. There we go.
Rhea Ripley comes out, and she is still super over. By comparison, there was immediately a Rhea Ripley chant, or a Rhea, whereas earlier Brie Mode got 0 reaction. And she says she didn't expect B-Fab and Michin to stoop so low as to team up with Jade Cargill. She calls them out, and here they are. And they are booed really heavily. They are booed right out of the building. Lots of rambling here from B-Fab and Michin and Jade. They're just kind of like trying to talk over Rhea at times too, which is kind of annoying. And B-Fab and Michin say something about how they are sick of the attention Rhea gets, so that's why they hooked up with Jade. Okay, I guess that's a good enough reason to turn heel.
Okay, sure.
Sure. So then we have a match. We have Rhea Ripley versus B-Fab. Well, not really, because Rhea takes B-Fab down, goes after Michin, then Jade throws Rhea into the steps for the DQ finish, like really quickly. And then they gang up on Rhea for a beatdown. Someone's got to come to Rhea's aid soon, right? I mean, the obvious answer is probably. I mean, I want to say Io Sky, but she's kind of tied up with the Kabuki Warriors right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Do you think anyone will come to Rhea's aid, or it's going to be Rhea will just overpower or overcome the odds?
Are we talking at WrestleMania?
No, I mean like the build up in the next 2 weeks.
Oh man, I mean, I'm with you. I don't think anybody else. Who else would besides Io? That there's not. Who else would?
I mean, is Damian Priest going to come out?
Damian Priest. Yeah. CM Punk. I don't know.
All right. Backstage, The Miz is freaking out about Danhausen's curse. To Kit Wilson. Kit Wilson's here too. He shows his shoe as The Miz. It's got gum on it. And he says he's going to go to a room with no sharp objects and stay away from the TV and take notes. The Miz leaves, and then Danhausen teleports in. And just before Kit can call Danhausen toxic, he gets cursed and then disappears. Man. Thoughts on Danhausen?
Well, he's doing his thing. He's cursing everybody. That's pretty much what we guessed a couple weeks ago.
Are you entertained?
I think that they're using him appropriately. I still want to see him in a match, as bad as it probably will be. I do want to see him in a match at some point. He can't just be this lingering presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got to wrestle. This is wrestling.
I'd love to see him come out in a blimp on WrestleMania. He finally gets that blimp.
Yeah. At WrestleMania, a blimp just floats in, and it's Danhausen. That'd be fucking awesome.
There used to be like those Goodyear blimps on like the Attitude Era Raw, I think.
Yeah. The 1-800-COLLECT blimps.
Yes. I just want to see like Danhausen like rappel from like some ropes coming down it.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. But I think Danhausen may actually have a match.
It should be a 1-800-COLLECT blimp. I think they're completely out of business at this point, but like it should be that blimp, and he'll be like, "I found a blimp," and then he fucking repels down from it.
But I think he might have a match at WrestleMania. I'm thinking maybe with Kit, maybe with The Miz. It'll be a gimmick. It'll be a, it won't be like, it won't be a, what does Jim Ross say? Catch can classic. It'll be a, a 2-minute a 2-minute ha-ha match. Yeah.
I'd be okay with that. I mean, he's going to be at WrestleMania regardless, but I would think it would go a long way to see him in a match.
Yeah. I am entertained by what they're doing with Danhausen so far.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, he's good.
Okay. All right, so Drew McIntyre shows up selling his injuries from last week, and then we got a match. We got Jelly Roll versus Kit Wilson. This is Jelly Roll's SmackDown debut and his first singles match. So early in the match, Jelly Roll grabs Kit Wilson's legs, and I was like, "Oh my God, is he going to slap the sharpshooter on him?" Because that would have been awesome. I would have jumped out of my chair for that one. He didn't do that. I think he just leg dropped him between the legs.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kit Wilson's running European uppercuts are really smooth. Good stuff. Wade's commentary here, fucking hilarious. Good stuff. Like very, very entertaining. And Jelly Roll didn't look all that bad. I mean, we've seen worse celebrities in matches, but he's not the most. Who would be the best celebrity? That's really tough. Bad Bunny is often considered one of the best.
I think Bad Bunny tops the list. He did really, really good.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other because Bad Bunny set that bar. With Jelly Roll's coming right up there. I mean, he's obviously bigger and slower. He can't do the things that Bad Bunny did, but, as far as putting it all out there, hey, you're a millionaire already. You don't have to do this. That goes a long way with me. That went a long way with me with Bad Bunny, and it's doing the same for Jelly Roll.
So yeah, as we kind of talked about here, the match is not an all-time classic. I obviously wasn't expecting Austin versus Brett or Taker versus Shawn, but that's not what anyone should expect here. This was just a feel-good moment featuring Jelly Roll, and I was fine with it.
But were you expecting him to win the match? If I may jump ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't think Kit Wilson was going to beat Jelly Roll.
But Kit Wilson is a wrestler, and Jelly Roll's not a wrestler.
I know, but Kit Wilson ain't exactly
Shawn Michaels here.
Shawn Michaels. he's not exactly. He's not even presented that way either. He's presented more of a show up, call somebody toxic, and get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you have anything more to add about this match or not.
I was just a little bit indifferent about the ending. You get that moment of Jelly Roll won. Wow, this is crazy. But to me, it's sort of like, okay, come on. Like, couldn't they have ended in a schmoz or something? Couldn't they have done something to where Kit Wilson gets so aggravated that he can't actually pin him and beat him that he grabs a chair and hits him and causes the DQ, or you know what I mean? Instead of Jelly Roll going over on an actual wrestler. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I think I probably would have preferred that.
The MFT are backstage. Solo says he's led the family. He says something along the lines of if he leads the family or if everyone listens to him, but they're not on the same page while eyeing Tama Tonga. Solo says he apologizes and says, you know who wouldn't have apologized? Roman. So then, this is a funny moment because everyone leaves except for Tama, who turns and he sees Carmelo Hayes. It seems like every week, like the MFT are going to leave the room and then Tama just kind of lingers and then all of a sudden a wrestler shows up, like immediately after the MFT take one step away. I was not expecting Carmelo Hayes. I was expecting, Shinsuke Nakamura again. But we do get Shinsuke after Carmelo asks, when he's going to step up and challenge him for the U.S. title. Nakamura pops in, pretty much says the same thing. But then Tama Tonga shows up and pulls Tama away. A lot of rhyming names here. All right. So the U.S. Open Challenge this week. Carmelo Hayes versus Sami Zayn. And Trick Williams is here too. All right, so Melo's clothesline to the back of Sammy's head looked really stiff. I don't know if you caught that. That was some really devastating looking clotheslines.
Yeah.
The tilt-to-whirl facebuster that Carmella does still looks great, or Dirty Diana, I guess they're calling it, or some people are calling that now. Wade Barrett called it Dirty Diana.
Okay.
Great counter by Sammy from the first 48 to a power bomb. Sammy goes after Trick, and then accidentally, or goes after Trick, who accidentally punches Melo, and Sammy hits the haluva kick for the win. We've talked about this in the past about being burnt out by the U.S. title matches, but this was pretty good. This is a pretty good back and forth match. Probably definitely the best match of the night. But I kind of feel bad for Melo here. Like, he was defending the championship every week for what, maybe, I don't know how many weeks it's been, 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah,
maybe longer. And now is he even gonna be on the WrestleMania card? It feels like, whoops, sorry, Sammy, sorry, we're gonna go ahead.
I thought about this, and actually, this is probably the one thing in the entirety of SmackDown that hit me the hardest, like as far as opinion wise. Melo, so okay, Sami Zayn wins the title. Melo goes on to do what? Well, maybe he gets put in the match at WrestleMania, right? You think maybe, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but maybe he gets put in the match. But I think the idea is that Trick comes out of WrestleMania with the title. Why did they even have to change the belt? There's a lot of people that are pissed off about this decision. And I don't think it helps Sami Zayn in his current position. I've been talking about for months he should turn heel. This just seemed like a misstep for me. Like, he is getting more and more agitated. He wants a world title. But then he's winning the U.S. title, and like he's just taking this spot, and I thought it was bad. I thought it was a bad decision all around.
I'm with you. I'm with you. The creative here was kind of like, they kind of fucked Melo here, didn't they?
Like, why did they want to have the belt on Sammy? Why? What's the point? Like, there's no point to this whatsoever.
If you're just going to drop the title to Trick, it should have just been Carmelo.
Yeah, and it completely derails Sammy, getting on that path of turning heel because he wants a world title shot. Well, now he's the U.S. champion, so it circled all the way back around to Sammy now. It was Sammy, and then it went to several different people, and then, whatever, Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes. Now it's back on Sammy, and we're no further than where I just don't understand why. Maybe we'll learn in the next few weeks why they made this decision, but it doesn't seem like a good decision to me at all.
All right. Well, let's move on. Jacob Fatu shows up. He's selling his injuries from last week, and he says he's got to talk to the people.
Yeah.
But before he comes out, we see Sammy confronting Nick Aldis, asking, am I on the WrestleMania show now? And he is. It's against Trick Williams. It's official. One of many official matches that were made in the last, in between Raw and SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob Fatu is here. He's big mad at Drew, saying no matter what he does, Jacob is still standing. And as long as he's got air in his lungs, he's going to dog walk his punk ass. And then Drew McIntyre comes out, and he's still denying kicking Fatu's teeth out, which I believe. I think that'll be a future feud for Jacob Fatu when they find out the real culprit of who kicked his teeth out.
Yeah.
And then he says Fatu stole everything from Drew, and he says, screw your damn kids. Aldis comes and makes a match at WrestleMania between them, and it'll be an unsanctioned match. It's just their way of saying a street fight.
Pretty much. Their way of saying it's going to be crazy, I guess.
Yeah. All right. And then Jelly Roll. Once again, we're going to see a lot of Jelly Roll tonight. He catches up with Matt Cardona and tells him Cody's coming, and they should all just talk it out. Let's have a little powwow.
Talk it out.
But then Matt says nope, he wants to fight. Jelly Roll leaves. Aleister Black and Zelina show up to taunt Matt. I think Matt says something along the lines like, what the hell was that all about? Anyways, how do you feel about Jacob Fatu and Drew and Jelly Roll getting mixed up with the main event?
Well, I think that Drew and okay, so I'm indifferent about it because I thought that Drew lost the title because he was going away for a little while. I didn't think that we would see him at WrestleMania, but that's not been the case. Instead, he's in a match with Jacob Fatu, sans title. And I think that's kind of odd how they pivoted, put the belt on Cody instead. You were talking a few weeks ago about how you thought it would be either a triple threat, maybe a fatal four-way for the title, but it's not. It's not what we're getting. We're getting two completely separate matches, so...
I was wrong about that one, man. Strike me down.
Well...
Fucking bullshit!
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird, man. It's really weird because, like we said at the top of the show, this past week set up a lot of matches for WrestleMania. A lot of changes happened. A lot of titles changed hands. There was a lot of things like realigning, whereas a month or two ago, it looked completely different. And I don't understand why they're changing some of these things unless the only thing I can assume is that they think that this is going to be more appealing of a WrestleMania card. Maybe they're right. I don't know.
Well, it certainly adds more matches to the card than keeping them all together.
Yeah.
For a multi-man match.
You got to feel a little bit bad for Drew. I feel bad for Carmelo. You got to feel a little bit bad for Drew, too, though. That he's not getting to walk into WrestleMania as the champion and having the big match against Randy Orton instead of Cody. Why couldn't it have been Cody versus Jacob and then Drew versus Randy? Like, what was wrong with that? I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Well, the only thing I can say is they want Cody in the main event.
Yeah. The only thing I can say is
fucking bullshit.
I just love that.
It's our new favorite soundbite. I love it.
Yeah, it is.
Shiki baby, we miss you. Bubba. All right. So, Tiffany Stratton bumps into Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. Chelsea offers her services, but Tiffy says nope. And we have a match. Tiffany Stratton versus Julia. This is non-title. Doesn't really make a difference when the finish comes along, but there is no denying that Tiffany is very athletic and moves great in the ring. But holy fuck, that Swanton looked brutal. I don't know if you caught that. Holy shit. I was like, did she kill herself and Julia there or what? That
was a hell of a landing.
Yeah. Speaking of painful, though, Julia's arrivederci knees look pretty stiff, too. The match ends when Tiffany goes for the prettiest moonsault ever, but Julia gets the knees up and then just rolls Tiffany for the win.
Well, there was a distraction.
From Kiana James?
There was a momentary distraction from Kiana James, and that's sort of how they sold that she didn't hit it quick enough, and it gave Julia time to get her knees up, yeah.
I thought the ending was rather flat, where, all right, you missed 1, 2, 3, over.
I liked it. I thought it was great.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a fan. I was a fan of that. Right. I'm glad that Julia got the win here. So
I'm not upset Julia got the win. I was like, okay, she missed the moonsault and then gets pinned. I'm like, okay, that's a little anticlimactic for me.
It was anticlimactic. She got the knees up, and that's how she pinned her. And you wouldn't think that Tiffany would be able to be put down for a 3 count off of the knees. Certainly a year ago, this wouldn't have been the case. But hey,
if Julie had gotten up and just gave her a Northern Lights bomb, I would have been happy. I would have been happier.
Exactly, yeah. It just seemed like that shouldn't have took her out. I get it.
So Bayley and Lyra are hyped for their match against the Irresistible Forces, and Randy's on the phone again. Who is he talking to? Is it still Cowboy Bob? Is it still... Actually, I've heard rumors now that this person was on Raw. The person he was talking to on the phone.
Really?
Yeah. I mean... wrestling has more than one royal family, and who did Cody have a promo with on Raw that's from a very famous wrestling family? Anyways.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Randy Orton versus Matt Cardona. This was just an extended beatdown to Matt as Randy just beats him up and beats his hand for a while. That sounded dirty, but anyways, the crowd is still cheering for Randy. Matt hits a rough ride out of nowhere, but Orton kicks out. And then Randy ultimately wins with an RKO. As mentioned, it's just a one-sided beatdown that just kind of felt a little too long. It didn't get any heat on Randy. In fact, people were just cheering for him. And post-match, Cody arrives, and they have a big pull-apart brawl, which, man, you're gonna see more of this on the next show, I think, too, where the people that come, the security that's supposed to break up these people fighting are fucking terrible. They just they all suck at their job. Yeah. And then
Jelly Roll eats wrestlers.
And then Jelly Roll eats an RKO to end the show.
Oh. So that's it. He finally turned on Jelly. He's full on heel, and everybody loves it.
I was gonna say, do you think the RKO to Jelly Roll put Randy over the top, full heel?
Yeah. He's fully engrossed in the heeldom here.
I mean, the fans don't like it when celebrities get RKO'd.
No, but I think that there is a large camp of people that are still gonna be fans of Randy Orton here no matter what. Yeah. It doesn't matter what he does. We live in a day and age where heels and baby faces really don't matter unless they really, really try to separate, and split the crowd. But Randy's just doing Randy shit. He's not really talking about the crowd. He's not talking down to the crowd. He's not using that part of you're used to seeing heels come in and say, oh, this town sucks and you people are idiots and all that stuff. He's not doing any of that. He's just beating people up. So
there was that one line where he's talking about, it's not the voices in my head, it's all your voices. Mm-hmm. And that didn't work.
No, didn't work at all.
All right, well, that was the conclusion to Friday Night SmackDown.
Yes.
Please, Mr. Mosley, tell me about Madison Square Gardens, the New York City.
I'm going to tell you, I break his back. I make him humble. Monday Night Raw on March the 30th of 2026, New York City, New York, in Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world. The show opens up, the show opens up with Cody proving once again that the brand split don't mean shit anymore. That's my very first note, Slick Vic. Cody gets his "what do you want to talk about" shtick out, and all of a sudden we hear Stephanie McMahon's music hit. And the crowd goes wild because it's like, holy shit, Stephanie McMahon, what does she got to say? So she comes down to the ring. Cody isn't going, and she says that Cody isn't going to like what she has to say. Stephanie says this version of Cody Rhodes can't beat the current version of Randy Orton. She talks about how Dusty, Cody's dad, could get down and dirty with the best of them, but Cody isn't his father. Cody hits back with a, "Neither are you." To which Stephanie slaps Cody one right across the jaw. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. After a few more words, Stephanie starts to walk off, but Cody pulls her back and tells her, "He's got 2 words for you. Thank you." All right, Slick Vic. So this opening to Raw was great. I think seeing Stephanie, the crowd popped. It was hype. It was big news. Everything was cool. I didn't understand the "neither are you" thing to Stephanie. Obviously, you're not Vince. Obviously, neither are you. But in this day and age, is that such a bad thing? Because, Vince is, driving 115 miles an hour down the Merrick Parkway and wrecking old women and wrapped up in court battles. And So I don't understand. I mean, I kind of get, like, if we're supposed to remember that Vince McMahon is this big, megalithic figure in the wrestling industry, which he is, but I don't know. It just seemed out of place to me. I don't think a lot of people got it, but she smacked the shit out of him. He said, "Thank you." What do you think about this, Vic? What's your take on it?
You know, it was definitely a surprise to see Steph, but I don't know if I wanted to see Steph. I
really
don't know if I would. No, and her saying, you know, you don't know Randy Orton. I'm like, what is she talking about? Cody's been with Randy since day one, so, or you know, since Cody's day one. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know Randy? So I don't know. I honestly didn't like this promo that much. No, it didn't work for me. Didn't work for me, brother.
Well, I got to say, I think that the point here was it's Stephanie, the people popped. It's MSG, you know, a lot of things, a lot of feels there for the McMahon family and all this. She mentioned her grandfather. She said this is the building that her grandfather built. Skipped right over her dad, which obviously, you know, MSG was the building that her grandfather built. But then Cody hits back with the "you're not your father either" line, and yeah, it was kind of cool at first, but it ended up being kind of confusing. So I feel you. Up next, we have a match. This is a street fight for the World Tag Team Championship. The Usos, the champions, versus the Vision members Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So last week, we know that they had a match with each other, which ended with Jay, you know, letting his emotions get the best of him, and he got the brass knucks, and he knocked him out, and that was it. Big DQ. We had Paul Heyman asking for this match, and apparently they gave it to him. So, here it is. Street fight for the World Tag Team titles. There's lots of trash cans being used. Theory gets put inside a can as the Usos tee off on him with the kendo sticks. Theory also gets double superplexed through a table, but for some reason, this doesn't end it. I didn't get specifics on this, but on the outside, I Show Speed is in the front row. He gets caught up in a brawl between Logan Paul and one of the Usos. He ends up getting thrown over the barricade, and Speed gets the brass knucks on. I put Jay comes up. I don't know, it might have been Jimmy. Comes up and touches him on the shoulder, and he turns around and decks him, knocking him out. Long story short, this leads to the Vision getting a win over the Tag Team Champions and becoming the new World Tag Team Champions, Logan Paul and Austin Theory. And they walk off up the ramp with I Show Speed raising his hand. You can see he's like, I don't know about this. You know, I'm not mad about it. I would rather see Logan Paul and Austin Theory as the Tag Team Champions than the Usos. I don't know about how they got there, but okay, I'm with it. Now, I will say this. So far as the WrestleMania card goes, I don't think either of the Tag Team Championships are on the line at WrestleMania. Well, other than the women's. But as for the men's Tag Team Championships, no announcements yet. So, remains to be seen what will happen there. But, new Tag Team Champions, the Vision. Slick Vic, your thoughts?
Super kicks and trash cans, right?
Yeah, lots of trash cans.
As simple as it sounds, I don't think I've ever seen a double suplex through a table. That was an interesting spot.
Yeah.
Match is all right. The crowd was really hot. The crowd really, really helped this one. I feel like they were really, yeah, the match, they really helped the match. So where are we going here? Is this I Show Speed guy gonna have a match now?
Well, we see a little bit later in a segment with Speed, and we'll talk about that in a moment. I don't know if he's gonna have a match, but it's interesting because he literally was responsible for the Usos losing the titles, but he didn't mean to be.
Right.
So. All right, so from that, we have an in-ring segment. Liv Morgan comes out. She talks some trash to Stephanie Vaquer, calls her out. The champ answers the challenge, and the two brawl in the ring. Vaquer gets the upper hand, and she ends up super kicking Liv down. Vaquer goes to the outside and grabs a chair, but gets jumped from behind by a returning Roxanne Perez in the ring. And then we have the beat down. Liv and Roxanne double team Vaquer. Liv hits an Oblivion on her to basically end this fiasco. From that, we have another backstage segment, and what I was just talking about a second ago. The Vision are celebrating their championship win backstage. IShowSpeed is trying to tell them he didn't mean to get involved. Heyman shows up and says, "Don't worry, he's in good hands," and sends them all off to get some dinner. Adam Pearce shows up and asks Heyman if he's checked his email, and we don't really get an answer to this or what it's about. From that, we have another match. This time, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line. The irresistible forces of Nia Jax and Lash Legend, the champions, versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Just gonna say it now, Slick Vic. This may be a hot take. Lash Legend is better than Nia Jax.
You don't say.
I think that Lash Legend fills the shoes that Nia should have filled for the past decade, but Lash is filling them in less than a year on the roster. I have notes from the match. Bayley hits an impressive powerbomb on Nia and tags in Lyra, who hits a flying splash on Nia and goes for the pin, but Lash breaks it before the three. The Bellas and Flair and Bliss head down ringside but get taken out by the irresistible forces. Back in the ring, Nia hits a spinebuster on Lyra, but Flair and Bliss go in and take Nia down, causing a DQ finish. So technically the winners of this, the irresistible forces, via DQ. Titles don't change hands. Nothing really happens. This just pretty much furthers the four-way that we get at WrestleMania. But yeah, I think Lash Legend is super impressive to me. I think she's got the looks. She's doing fantastic. She sells really, really well. Her facial expressions, her body expressions, everything is on point. She is poised to be really, really good. But Slick Vic, I'd like to get your thoughts on these past couple of segments, the Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer, the Vision backstage with IShowSpeed, and then, of course, the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
Well, the promo with Liv Morgan, I gotta say, you know, it's a good thing she's a heel because that voice, I find it grating. I don't know about you.
Do you, is it like fingers on a chalkboard when she says, the greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time?
Yeah.
I love that.
Man.
I love that because every time she does it, when she starts into it, doing the all, I start counting 1, 2, 3. Like I'm trying to see how long she's going to go.
But, you know, so if, you know, it made me want Stephanie Vaquer to come out and punch her in the face, which is what we kind of got. But then they double teamed her with the returning Roxanne Perez. Okay, fine. The whole thing with this is like a running gag on the whole episode where Adam Pearce tells Heyman to check his email.
Yeah,
I loved it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. Like, check your email. Like, what? I don't know.
Email? What are you talking about? Email?
Yeah. It was like they're like go get him a steak or something. They're like go get him some dinner. Like, yeah, that was fun. Yep. The women's tag match was booked. I thought it was booked okay in the sense that you had the baby faces have to chop down the bigger heels, and it's called. You know, I don't mean to sound derogatory when I say this, but Lash is huge. Like, she made Bayley and Lyra look like children next to her.
Yeah.
Like, but like she's just a big woman. Like, she's big, tall Amazon.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, she fills that role of the big Amazonian woman that Nia Jax is supposed to fill. But, like, when they're in there together, you realize how slow and how clunky Nia is, and then you have Lash just outperforming her left and right.
She definitely has a bright future, I think.
Yes.
The heels, there was some awkward spots. Like there was this moment where like I remember, was it Nia Jax like ran into the post, but like Lyra moved out of the way like 5 seconds earlier, and just Nia just kept going with it, and somebody pulls down the middle rope, and Lash still goes over the top rope. I don't know if you caught that spot.
I didn't
was
catch that. No.
What the hell happened? Like, usually you pull the top rope down to get the person to fall out of the ring.
Usually if it's a guy.
Yeah.
But I would understand if it's a woman, you're going to pull it on because they're shorter,
Yeah. So the middle rope got pulled down, but Lash still went over the top rope because she's tall as hell.
She's like 8 foot tall, yeah.
Yeah. But now we know which four teams are going to be there. Match is okay. Not terrible, not bad, run of the mill. I didn't have a lot of problems with it or anything, but except for those awkward spots that just made me chuckle. I'm like, okay. I wonder if that'll be on Botchamania, but whatever.
Okay, yeah. All right, then. Up next, Danhausen comes out. He announces Saturday Night Main Event is going to return to Madison Square Garden on July the 18th. So I guess that's the next Saturday night's main event that we have to look forward to.
Thank you, Danhausen.
Thank you, Danhausen. Then we have an in-ring segment. This is a big one. Brock Lesnar comes out wearing his ring gear, and he's accompanied by Paul Heyman. Heyman says Lesnar wasn't prepared to fight last week, but he is now. And Lesnar calls out Oba Femi. Security, along with Adam Pearce, come out, and they try to de-escalate the situation, but Oba comes marching down to the ring anyway. He takes out the security, pushes aside Adam Pearce to get in the ring to Lesnar, but before the two can fight, Triple H hits the ring, good old Paul Levesque, and keeps it from happening. Ultimately, there is no fight here, just more hyping their match for WrestleMania. From that, we have a pre-recorded segment involving Finn Balor, who's cutting a promo on Dom, saying he created him and now he'll end him at WrestleMania. So, there we go. Another prediction in the books for Slick Vic and Mr. Mosley here at Wrestling with Power. Then we have a match. This time it's the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Penta, the champion, versus Kofi Kingston. I don't have a lot of good notes for this, Slick Vic, but I can say this was a solid match. There was lots of back and forth. There was a couple of times where Grayson Waller tried to get involved. The first time he tried to get involved on the outside was before the commercial break, but Kofi backs him off and says, I got this. We come back from the commercial break, and we get some more back and forth. Kofi is still telling Waller to back off. Kofi goes for a dive to the outside, but Penta turns it into a backdrop on the announce desk, then hits a Mexican Destroyer on Waller. Kofi hits the Trouble in Paradise, but Penta kicks out at 2. Penta counters a superplex attempt and follows up with a Mexican Destroyer to Kofi for the win. Again, solid match. You got the years and years of experience for both opponents here, Penta and Kofi Kingston. Really, really solid match. I recommend anybody go out and watch it. It's good. Post-match, Jackie Redmond interviews Penta and asks what's in store for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Penta says he talked to Adam Pearce and that he will defend the title in a ladder match at Mania, although at this time any specific opponents are not revealed. So, there we go. Another match for the WrestleMania card. Intercontinental Championship ladder match. From this, well, before we move on, actually, I want to get your thoughts on the last few things we talked about here. Slick Vic, the Brock Lesnar segment, the Finn Balor promo, the Intercontinental title match.
When Brock came out with looking like he's ready to fight, I was like, are we actually going to have a match on Raw with Lesnar? Or something? What's going on here? That was interesting. But that was a very intense moment when, Oba Femi came out. And before he even got in the ring, like he just threw a bunch of security guards. Like, he threw them 100 yards. It was, jeez. Yeah, I'm like, good Lord. Then Triple H coming out was an interesting touch, or should I say Paul Levesque? They kept calling him Paul Levesque on the commentary, I believe.
Paul Levesque hit the ring. Oh my God, Paul Levesque.
But I thought that was good stuff. That was good stuff. It was very intense. For Penta and Kofi, well, I don't have a lot to say here. Too many breaks. When Kofi hit the Trouble in Paradise, I was like, oh, whoa. Oh, he kicked that. Okay. I was like, whoa, because that came out of nowhere. I don't know if I'm really into right now Kofi and Grayson bickering, but we'll see where that goes. And then that announcement, the WrestleMania match, Penta's like, it's gonna be a ladder match. Okay, who against who, or what's going on here? It was so vague. Yeah.
I think that the idea was, he's like, anybody, I want to challenge anybody. I didn't mention that. But it made you think that it was either going to be somebody accepting the challenge or a number of people accepting the challenge. Hint, hint. We'll find out here in just a few moments what the result of that was. But yeah, good stuff, man. It's really shaping up to be every single championship is on the line at this WrestleMania, which is cool. They don't have to be, but it's going there, except for the men's Raw and SmackDown tag team titles so far. Haven't been mentioned. All right, so from that Intercontinental Championship match, we have a backstage segment with Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman, and Adam Pearce is asking him still, has he checked his email? Heyman, in his own way, says he hasn't, but he's heading out to the ring to make an announcement. We go to a commercial break, and when we come back, Heyman's already in the ring. He announces, in the words of the late, great Howard Finkel, the new World Tag Team Champions, The Vision. He says he tried to give the people of New York something great tonight in Brock versus Oba. But then he is interrupted by Adam Pearce, who, again, asks if Paul has read his email. Pearce reveals that Boston PD has dropped all charges on Seth Rollins. Heyman says he is the last manager standing from the 80s and the last promoter standing from the 90s. Gets a big pop from the crowd. Love that. Pearce also reveals that as of right now, Seth Rollins is medically cleared to compete. Seth's music hits and he shows up from behind with a chair and decks Heyman in the back with it. We see Seth backing up into the corner. He looks like he's going to go for the stomp onto the chair, onto Paul Heyman's head. And all of a sudden, somebody pulls him out of the ring. Guess who? The ring general Gunther pulls him out of the ring, slaps the sleeper hold on him, and chokes him out, essentially, across the announce desk. Gunther holds Rollins' head up and points to the WrestleMania sign, and we apparently have another Mania match on the card. Also noted that leaving the ring, Gunther has apparently got his eyebrow busted in the exchange and is bleeding.
Yeah.
I didn't see how or when that happened, but apparently, yeah, he got busted open there. But okay, another match. Another match is apparently happening at WrestleMania, Gunther versus Seth Rollins. Next, we have a match between Raquel Rodriguez and Io Sky. Don't really have a lot of notes for this. Raquel Rodriguez ends up winning. The Kabuki Warriors came out during this match, and I think Io decked Asuka and was pleading with Kyrie, like, I did this for you, blah, blah, blah. It led to Raquel ending, hitting the Tejana Bomb and pinning her for the win. And then we have several big announcements following this. Slick Vic, the IC title ladder match that we mentioned just a few moments ago, the opponents are confirmed. It's going to be Penta defending the championship against Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, Rusev, and JD McDonough. Also confirmed is Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Made official. The women's tag titles 4-way, the Irresistible Forces, the champions versus Flair and Bliss, Lyra and Bayley, and the Bella Twins. And John Cena will return to host WrestleMania 42. All right, Slick Vic. Before we move on to the last segment of Raw, I'd like to get your thoughts.
The Heyman promo was excellent. Heyman is, it's weekly excellence from Heyman. It's great stuff. We should be blessed to know that we are watching the same era that Heyman is involved, because he's absolute GOAT.
I think we will come to appreciate it a lot more down the road.
Yeah.
That we had him.
I love the Howard Finkel nod. Where he did the line about the manager from the 80s, promoter from the 90s was good stuff. He knows how to endear himself to the New York City crowd. Yeah. And the email stuff was just hilarious. But yeah, that was a good way to bring Seth back. I don't know if I want to keep seeing Heyman get beat up. I mean, what does Seth benefit from beating up Heyman?
I don't know, but he's taken more bumps in the last 2 weeks than I've seen him ever take.
Well, this answers a question we had for a while. Like, what do we do with Gunther at WrestleMania? Well,
there you go.
Now we got a match. As for Io Sky and Raquel Rodriguez, well, Raquel's offense looks good. Swear to God, she almost took her head off a few times. And then there was that one dive where Io looked like she landed right on her head. I'm like, oh my God, is she dead? Please don't be dead. That was, oof, man. There was a lot of spots there. I'm like, oh, please don't be dead. But it was a decent match. I thought it was all right. And then I think it'll lead to another WrestleMania match with Io and Asuka and Kyrie on a pole match or something.
I mean, the card is getting really full. We still don't have matches for the men's tag titles, so
yeah. You mentioned earlier we don't have Julia doesn't have a match either for her women's U.S. title match either.
That would be a shame if her belt is the only one that isn't present at WrestleMania. But I think that we'll probably get it. We'll probably get it this week.
If not, it'll be like the SmackDown before.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are my thoughts.
All right. Good stuff, man.
Wait. I got one more thing. You mentioned the card with the ladder match.
Yeah.
The participants. When I look at it, I'm like, one of these things is not like the other, but I ain't upset.
Yeah. You think Rusev is gonna win this one?
No, I don't think he'll win it, but I'm like, okay, we got Penta, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and Rusev.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope, hey, maybe he can do like a 450 off the ladder. That'd be badass.
That'd be crazy. So nothing on John Cena returning to host WrestleMania 42, Slick Vic?
I'm fine with that. I got no problem with that, but at the same time, I'm like, shouldn't John Cena be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Not this year.
How is he should have? I'm not mad. Well, no, I am kind of mad. I'm like, why? I don't know. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Maybe he didn't want to do it. Maybe whatever the reason is, but
I think it would take shine off of everybody else involved. You got AJ Styles in there. You got Stephanie McMahon in there. Yeah. You don't want to have a Hall of Fame that's 6 hours long from these people's, promos.
Right.
I think if John goes in next year, it would be fine and have a few others that, sprinkled in. So, yeah. So rounding out Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, is an in-ring segment very similar to the one we saw on SmackDown, where the world champions are involved. Roman Reigns heads to the ring and says his normal line of New York City, acknowledge me, and all this stuff. Then Punk's music hits, and he heads to the ring in quick fashion, going straight after Reigns, and the two start brawling immediately. Security tries to break it up, and I say tries in quotations because they don't really do shit.
Yep.
Punk ends up getting the better of the exchange and power bombs Roman through the announce table to end the show. And that is Monday Night Raw. Slick Vic, the ending, your thoughts?
There really wasn't much to say. They just had a pull apart brawl with, like we mentioned, or like you mentioned, like I mentioned earlier today as well, useless security.
Yeah.
I mean, they just let Punk powerbomb him right onto the table. Like there's like 10 of them, and none of them did jack.
No, they were just standing around. They didn't do nothing.
Punk's laughing. He's supposed to. I guess it's a nod to Terry Funk, middle aged and crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever. This was okay. I mean, no, this was not okay. This was a step down from the promo wars they had the last 2 weeks. This was just a pull apart brawl, and Punk getting a receipt, or Punk giving Roman a receipt.
And it's likely that we're going to continue to see this. Maybe Punk has some matches with the Usos at this point, now that they're not tag team champions.
And where were they? Where were the Usos? Last week they came and defended Roman's honor, and
they got their ass kicked.
Yeah, so they're standing in the back with ice packs.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah. Icing down their marbles.
They were feeling oozy.
They weren't feeling too oozy on this night. But that's Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Slick Vic, there's a couple of more segments on the show tonight. Here in just a few moments, we're going to be taking a look at the WrestleMania 42 card and any final predictions we are going to be making right here in just a few moments. And we are taking it back to the ultimate World Wrestling Entertainment trivia book for some more trivia. Slick Vic's going in the hot seat. And Vic, this week I have decided, the man with the highlighter, the Triforce of Power right here in my hand, that we are going to exclusively ask you questions regarding WrestleMania. Now, it could be any WrestleMania. Again, the Ultimate World Wrestling Entertainment Trivia book was copyrighted and produced and written in 2002. So, of course, that takes our WrestleManias back to, 19, 20, 21, somewhere around there. There's only so many of them. WrestleMania X8 is actually the last WrestleMania section in this. But we are going to be doing WrestleMania here in just a few moments. I say we take a pause for the cause, come back, finish this stuff up. What say you, Slick Vic?
Let's do it.
All right. Be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back from that pause for the cause. Couple more segments left here in the show. We are going to be taking a look at the WrestleMania 42 card so far, and we're going to be giving some final predictions as to what we think might be added to it. And if you're following along live here on Facebook, you will see the official graphic that I have designed for us here. If we can switch over to it real quick. Bam, there it is. WrestleMania 42, WrestleMania Vegas. We have the card thus far over on the left side, and these aren't separated by any particular means. Obviously, there's going to be a not 1 and not 2, so I kind of put left and right here. But we have World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk, the champion, versus Roman Reigns. Women's World Championship, Stephanie Vaquer, the champion, versus Liv Morgan. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar. The Women's Intercontinental Championship, AJ Lee, the champion, is taking on Becky Lynch. We got Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. The Intercontinental Championship ladder match, Penta, the champion, will defend against Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Javon Evans, and Rusev. We have Seth Rollins versus Gunther. And then on the other side of things, we have the undisputed WWE Championship of Cody Rhodes, the champion, versus Randy Orton. The WWE Women's Championship, Jade Cargill, the champion, versus Rhea Ripley. Sami Zayn, the new United States champion, will defend against Trick Williams. We're going to see Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. And then the women's tag team championships will be decided in a fatal 4-way match where the irresistible forces of Nia Jax and Lash Legend, the champions, will take on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, and the Bella Twins. And that is your card thus far. I think 12 matches. Isn't that right, Slick Vic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, 12 matches so far on the WrestleMania card. Slick Vic, as we've mentioned throughout this episode, the men's tag team championships are not yet listed on this event. On 12 matches, you're going to assume 6 per night, right? So if the men's tag team championships get added to the card, that's going to be 7 per night. And of course, maybe we'll have 8. Maybe we'll have a couple extra matches. But I don't know. Slick Vic. This week, we had several confirmed matches for the WrestleMania card. The women's, the 4-way for the women's tag team championships were confirmed this week. Finn Balor and JD McDonough was confirmed this week. The IC title was confirmed this week. Do you have any other predictions as far as what may get added to this card at WrestleMania 42?
Okay, somehow we're going to have the Vision, maybe with I Show Speed, because I think Logan Paul is definitely going to be on WrestleMania. So maybe it'll be might even be like a 6-man. Wait, let's do Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and I Show Speed versus LA Knight and the Usos.
Okay, so that's going to be for the tag titles.
Oh, see, I don't necessarily think the tag titles will be on the line. They could just do that, or if they don't, let me see. What do you got? Have you got a prediction for the tag titles?
I mean, I think that if they're going to have that match at WrestleMania, why not put the belts on the line and just run it back? Have the Vision versus the Usos. Have I Show Speed there because, he's a celebrity or whatever, so have him there. He's in the corner of the Vision because they're protecting him from the Usos. But maybe I Show Speed costs the Vision the titles in this match and they go back to the Usos. I personally would like to see the Vision have a run with the titles, but the most logical thing that I can come up with is what I just mentioned.
Okay. What do we do with LA Knight? Is he left off the card?
I mean, he doesn't really have a place on the card so far. He's been wrapped up in the Usos, and they're wrapped up in this tag team title business. So, yeah, I don't think LA Knight has a place on the card unless he accompanies the Usos to the ring. I mean, that's why I kind of like your idea. You said the Vision with I Show Speed versus the Usos with LA Knight. I do like that idea better because LA Knight actually gets a match. But why have the thing if you're not going to put the titles on the line? I don't know.
Well, back in the day, Vince McMahon did not like tag team titles on his WrestleManias. I'd rather have a tag team title match on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, man. It's tough to call. I feel like WWE loves their celebrities. So I Show Speed is going to, even if he doesn't have to wrestle, but he is definitely going to be a presence.
Yeah.
So,
what about over on the SmackDown side of things with the WWE Tag Team Championships? Still going to be MFT versus the Wyatts?
You're gonna hate me for saying this, but I think that's a SmackDown match.
Okay. So not on the WrestleMania card then.
No, it'll be a SmackDown match.
Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll throw my name into the hat and say that we'll get it at WrestleMania. WWE Tag Team Championships of MFT, well, who's the current champions?
Well, they're kind of doing a Freebird rule.
Who's the champions? The Wyatts or the...
It's the MFT.
Okay, I lost track. MFT is the champions versus the Wyatts. And maybe they enact this... Maybe it's like a tornado tag. Maybe they can have all the members of the MFT versus all the members of the Wyatts. Whoever picks up the win wins the titles. That'd be cool.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, but I don't see that happening. It'd be a little convoluted.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw that into the...
Oh no, we are off, bro. We are off.
We're
because
off.
Damian Priest and R-Truth are the current tag team champions.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, you're the SmackDown guy. See, I don't know these things. So Damian,
We're live, pal.
Yeah, we're live, pal. R-Truth. Okay, so R-Truth, I think that they're definitely going to be at WrestleMania, though, regardless. So Damian Priest and R-Truth defending the tag team titles against, you know what? I'll say the Wyatt Six and the MFT, which have a big throwdown.
Okay.
That's my guess. But you think that it's going to be a SmackDown fiasco, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Let me think. I mean, I think it's fair to say that the MFT or the Wyatts will be involved. Maybe if they want to build, if they want to somehow incorporate Fraxium or Motor City Machine Guns into there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen, though. There's a lot of tomfoolery happening with Candice LeRae and Alex Shelley. So I don't see it happening. I
don't think the Machine Guns are going to be here. I don't think they're going to have a place on WrestleMania. As bad as it sucks, I would love to see them involved in some kind of tag team fiasco. And maybe, if maybe my prediction comes true and we have Damian Priest and R-Truth defending the titles against the Wyatt Six and the MFT, maybe the Machine Guns get thrown in there. I don't know about Fraxium, but...
Right.
I don't know. Maybe it's a big... Oh, they've already got a ladder match in the IC title. I don't know. Hard to say right now, but that's my prediction, and that's Slick Vic's predictions, and this is the last prediction, Slick Vic. So is there anything that you want to add to the WrestleMania 42 card? Any Danhausen, Chris Jericho, Undertaker?
Okay. This is what I think is going to happen. There's going to be The Miz is going to have a promo, maybe even cut off The Rock. Not The Rock, John Cena. The Rock hosted WrestleMania many, many years ago, but tonight it'll be John Cena. Here's what's going to happen.
That's a good call.
Here's what's going to happen. John Cena it's midway through WrestleMania, maybe night 2. The Miz comes out. He's pissed off that there's no match for him. And who does John Cena summon? Danhausen. And we have a match just like the Snoop Dogg and the Miz match from a couple years ago. It'll be like a 30-second thing.
Okay, so the Miz cuts off John Cena. He's pissed off that there's no match for him, and John Cena summons Danhausen to have a match with the Miz.
Yep.
All right, good deal. I like that. That would be cool. Good prediction, Slick Vic. I like that. Awesome. All right. So that's it. The WrestleMania 42 predictions from us here at Wrestling with Power are in the books. Again, next week we got our hands full with the normal weekly shtick of whatever's going on and whatever happens between now and then, plus our retro review of WrestleMania. We haven't actually decided. We've had a few suggestions so far on which WrestleManias we should review as far as our retro WrestleMania review, but we're still open to suggestions, so anybody that wants to give us any suggestions, any retro WrestleManias that you want to see, just go on our Facebook page and post them on our wall on this post for this episode or wherever. We'll see it somewhere. But that's it. WrestleMania 42 predictions. You saw the card. All that's left, Slick Vic, is some trivia. And I've been waiting for this all night. Slick Vic, are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
As I said before, we are looking at WrestleManias. Let's play a little music while I flip through my pages here. All right, hopefully you all enjoyed that music there from yours truly here. And if you don't know, that is the No Way theme from Sonic & Knuckles. If you pop Sonic 1 on top or any other game that isn't supposed to go there, a.k.a. Sonic 2 or Sonic 3, you get the No Way. That is what that theme is from, but we have repurposed it here on Wrestling with Power as our official... Yeah, we borrowed it a little bit.
We borrowed it.
As our official trivia theme. It's a good one. I'm still flipping through my pages because I'm looking for answers. I'm looking for my answer page. We'll find them eventually. Multiple championships outside the ring, etc., etc. Slick Vic, we're going to be looking at WrestleMania. There it is. We haven't specifically decided... But we did look at WrestleMania 1 when we did this the first time around. So, there were a couple that you didn't get right there at WrestleMania 1. You weren't too excited about WrestleMania 2. So you know what? We're going to skip right over and look at WrestleMania 3 to start this off. And WrestleMania 3, obviously a popular one. I think you'll get every one of these right, Slick Vic.
It's been a while. I remember the body slam heard around the world, which is now going in the Hall of Fame.
It is going in the Hall of Fame.
But give it to me.
I tried to pop that off real cool. It didn't work. I broke a piece of the lid off there. It's okay. Slick Vic, WrestleMania 3. All right, let's take a look and see what we got here. Which of the following previously held the indoor attendance record that was broken at WrestleMania 3? So I got you. A, the Pope. B, the Super Bowl. C, the Rolling Stones. Or D, the Beach Boys.
Oh, God. I'm going to go with the Rolling Stones. Final answer.
All right. Rolling Stones, final answer. I've lost my answers page. So, Slick Vic, you're going to have to bear with me just a few moments here. I'm a mess.
I love how the Pope is a choice.
Yeah, I know. The Pope, number one, the Pope. I like that. All right, so here we go. Right on over to the WrestleMania 3 section. What was your guess again?
It was the Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones. And the answer to that question, Slick Vic, is C, the Rolling Stones. Good job. Good job, Slick Vic. You got that one right. Good call. All right, next. WrestleMania 3 was held at A, Madison Square Garden, B, the Pontiac Silverdome, C, the LA Coliseum, or D, Soldier Field.
The Pontiac Silverdome, that's B. Final answer.
You got that one right on the nose, Slick Vic. Once again, proving his genius to all of us. The Pontiac Silverdome. Good job, Slick Vic, and I'm just going to highlight these answers too while I'm at it. Next question. What was unique about the WrestleMania 3 match between Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage? A, it went to a 1-hour draw. B, it was the first time the Intercontinental Championship changed hands at WrestleMania. C, it was a retirement match. Or D, it took place inside a steel cage.
Well, this is actually... I didn't know what it was going to be, but by the process of elimination, the answer is B. First time the Intercontinental title changed hands.
And you got that one without me even having to look at the answer page, Slick Vic. That is correct. Yes. All right, Slick Vic. Good job. Next up, who were Hillbilly Jim's partners in the 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania 3? A. Little Beaver and Haiti Kid. B. Phineas and Henry Godwin. C. Little Tokyo and Cowboy Lang. Or D. The Conquistadors.
I'm going to go with A.
A. Little Beaver and Haiti Kid.
Yes.
All right, well, Slick Vic, god damn, you're on a roll tonight. You got that one right. Good job. All right, killing the WrestleMania 3 questions here. All right. Number 29, actually this would be number 5 on the WrestleMania 3 list, but technically number 29 on the WrestleMania list. What was the pre-match stipulation in the WrestleMania 3 battle between the Junkyard Dog and Harley Race? A. The loser had to retire. B. The loser had to eat a snake. C. The loser had his head shaved. Or D. The loser had to bow down to the winner.
Bow to me faithfully. They're going to have to bow.
All right, so you're going to go with D, the loser had to bow down to the winner, and survey says D, the loser had to bow down to the winner. Good job, Slick Vic. You got another one right there.
These aren't as hard as I thought they'd be.
Yeah, you're killing this. All right. Next, who sang, I know this one, who sang America the Beautiful at WrestleMania 3? A.
You even have to read me. I was going to say, do you even have to read me the choices?
I know this one right off the bat. A. Willie Nelson. B. Salt and Pepper. C. Aretha Franklin. Or D. In Excess.
Aretha Franklin, C.
You got that one spot on, Slick Vic. Good job. I remember that so well because it was just such a great moment. You had Vince McMahon coming out announcing the attendee, welcome to WrestleMania 3. And then, America the Beautiful, Miss Aretha Franklin. In his usual voice. All right, up next. Which major sports event has the Pontiac Silverdome not hosted? A. The World Cup Finals. B. The NCAA Final Four. C. WrestleMania. Or D. The Super Bowl.
Which one has it not hosted?
Not hosted.
Okay. Now, all right. Let me get those choices one more time, please.
All right. So you got A is the World Cup Finals. All right. B is the NCAA Final Four. College. C is WrestleMania. Obviously, we know that's not the answer. D is the Super Bowl.
I'm going to go with the World Cup.
You're going to go with the World Cup. So you're going to go with A, the World Cup Finals. Slick Vic.
Fucking bullshit!
Oh, you missed one. Slick Vic, that wasn't the answer. The answer was the NCAA Final Four. Wow. Okay.
So I got the question that's not about wrestling wrong.
You can't be faulted for that one, yes. All right, up next. Who defeated Adrian Adonis at WrestleMania 3? A. Roddy Piper. What?
Hot Rod.
All right, let me give you. I'll give you the choice. A. Roddy Piper. B. Mr. T. C. Outlaw Jack. D. Pepper Gomez. And you say
Rowdy Roddy Piper. A.
Rowdy Roddy Piper, and the answer is yes. You got that. A momentary hiccup in the WrestleMania 3 questions with a question that wasn't even about WrestleMania 3. All right, up next. Coco Beware lost to Butch Reed at WrestleMania 3. What was the name of Coco's bird? A. Harvey, B. Bruno, C. Brawler, or D. Frankie?
D. Frankie.
Slick Vic says D. Frankie, and Survey says D. Frankie. Good job, Slick Vic. You got another one on the nose. All right, we got 3 questions left in the WrestleMania 3 section here. After turning on his tag team partner, Brutus Beefcake, a.k.a. Brutai, who did Greg Valentine align himself with? A. Ricky Steamboat, B. Danny Davis, C. Dino Bravo, or D. Dr. Tom Pritchard?
Wait. Read me that again one more time, please.
All right. After turning on his tag team partner, Brutus Beefcake, who did Greg Valentine align himself with? A. Ricky Steamboat, B. Danny Davis, C. Dino Bravo, or D. Dr. Tom Pritchard?
Man. Ooh. Read me the choices one more time.
All right, the choices. A. Ricky Steamboat, B. Danny Davis, C. Dino Bravo, or D. Dr. Tom Pritchard?
I'm going to go with Dino Bravo.
All right, so Slick Vic says Dino Bravo. We're going to go ahead and select that one off of the thing because the answer is Dino Bravo.
All right.
Good job.
That was a guess. Yeah.
2 left, Slick Vic. Who was the referee for WrestleMania 3 main event featuring Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant? A. Joey Marella, B. Earl Hebner, C. Dave Hebner, or D. Mike Chioda?
I'm going to go with A. Joey Marella.
A. Joey Marella. Slick Vic says A. Joey Marella. That's a tough one. You know, I would have probably guessed one of the Hebner brothers, but the answer is actually A. Joey Marella. Good job, Slick Vic.
Piece of trivia. That's Gorilla Monsoon's son.
Nice. The last question in the WrestleMania 3 list, and this actually has to do with one of my favorite matches at WrestleMania ever. I can't explain why, but I do enjoy it. Who did Billy Jack Haynes wrestle at WrestleMania 3? A. Dusty Rhodes, B. Hercules, C. Jake Roberts, or D. Bret Hart?
I'm sorry, read me the choices again.
All right. Who did Billy Jack Haynes wrestle at WrestleMania 3? Slick Vic, we've talked about this match on the show before. I've told you this is one of my favorite matches. I can't explain it.
I know the answer. I don't remember the letter. It's Hercules.
It's Hercules B, and you got that one right. Good job, Slick Vic. Thought I was going to have to come across the internet waves and give you a Ric Flair chop for that one. Good job, Slick Vic. You missed one out of all of the WrestleMania 3 questions that we had there. And that is, that's WrestleMania 3, ladies and gentlemen. Slick Vic, do you want to peruse into another one, or what are we doing?
Yeah, but you can ask me a few more, but I got to tell you, that question I got wrong was fucking bullshit.
It was fucking bullshit. I will agree with that. That was
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I gotta say that was pretty rough. Let's go to a little bit further here. We're trying to see what Slick Vic can get here. I know that his bread and butter is the new generation era, and so we'll try to move on to, how about this? Because I don't know a lot about this WrestleMania, so I'm interested to get into this one here. It looks like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 questions in this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 in that one. WrestleMania 10.
Okay.
All right. He's ready for it. WrestleMania 10. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I've done lost my answers page once again. And I'm going to have to flip back and find it. Here we go. All right, there we go. WrestleMania 10. All right. First question. Who defeated his, in quotations, loving brother Brett at WrestleMania 10? A. Bruce Hart. Who the fuck is Bruce Hart? B. British Bulldog. C. Jim Neidhart. D. Owen Hart.
The answer is D. Owen Hart, but Bruce is an actual member of the Hart family.
All right, a little trivia upon some trivia there for Slick Vic, but you got it right. Owen Hart and Bret Hart. Great match. If there was ever a brother versus brother match that was great in the history of professional wrestling, that was it. Absolutely. All right, next question. These two men competed at the first 9 WrestleManias, but neither competed at WrestleMania 10. A. Brooklyn Brawler and Tito Santana. B. Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake. C. Hulk Hogan and Tito Santana. Or D. Brooklyn Brawler and Brutus Beefcake.
Okay, he competed in the first 9, but not 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's Hulk Hogan is definitely one of them.
So that narrows it down to 2.
Hulk and what were the choices with Hulk?
It was either Brutus Beefcake or Tito Santana.
The answer is Hulk and Tito Santana.
All right. C. Hulk Hogan and Tito Santana. We'll go ahead and mark that off the list. And in the back, survey says Hulk Hogan and Tito Santana. Next question, Slick Vic. What team met Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna at WrestleMania 10? A. Doink and Dink. B. King Kong Bundy and Little Beaver. C. Mark Marrow and Sable. Or D. Alundra Blaze and Ricky Steamboat.
Doink and Dink.
Doink and Dink, he says. And Slick Vic, it looks like once again you are right. Play a little victory music there for you, Slick Vic. Next question. This team entered WrestleMania 10 as tag team champions. A. Men on a Mission. B. The Quebecers. C. The Heavenly Bodies. Or D. The Smokin' Guns.
Ooh, this is a little tricky here. Which team entered WrestleMania 10? See, I don't remember the tag team match that night. It's either gonna be the Smoking Guns or the Quebecers. I'm gonna go with the Quebecers.
All right, so this team entered WrestleMania 10 as tag team champions. Slick Vic says the Quebecers. Slick Vic, it looks like survey says B, the Quebecers. You got that one right. Good job. Tough question there for you, but you got it right nonetheless. Next question. The match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon at WrestleMania 10 was one of the greatest matches ever. What kind of match was it? Do I even have to give you the choices?
It's a ladder match.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and select that one because C, ladder match, yes, C, ladder match, and we get another victory. Good job, Slick Vic. Next question. At WrestleMania 10, Men on a Mission faced the Quebecers. Who was not a member of Men on a Mission? A. Oscar. B. Marvin. C. Mabel. D. Mo.
Marvin.
God, how do you know that, Slick Vic? Right off the bat, you got Marvin. I don't know how you... Only Marvin I know is from Resident Evil 2. You know Men on a Mission, apparently.
I remember Men on a Mission.
All right, next question. Which manager accompanied the Quebecers to the ring for their match at WrestleMania 10? A. Captain Lou Albano. B. Jim Cornette. C. Johnny Polo. Or D. Mr. Fuji.
It's going to be Johnny Polo.
Johnny Polo. Slick Vic. Smash competition. Absolutely killing it. I think you're going to like this question, though, Slick Vic. Who was the special guest referee for the Yokozuna versus Lex Luger match at WrestleMania 10? A. Mr. Perfect, B. British Bulldog, C. Bobby Heenan, or D. Roddy Piper?
D. Roddy Piper. Second time he's the answer tonight.
All right, so you're going to say D. Roddy Piper, and Slick Vic,
Fucking
you got that one wrong, my friend. Oh, killed you with that. I was ready to give you the whole, because the answer was Mr. Perfect.
Wait a minute. Which? Okay, you said the world title match, right?
No,
oh
I didn't say the
God.
world title. I said who was the special guest referee for the Yokozuna versus Lex Luger match at WrestleMania 10.
I knew that one. I thought you. Oh my God.
Oh man. Okay.
I got a little too cocky for my britches there. So. Oh my God. I did know that answer. I did.
Vic,
I
gave you a clear hint before we went into it. I said you're gonna like this one, and then you just skipped right over the Mr. Perfect. All right, we'll excuse you for that. We might come back to that one later.
Oh man, I should be like thrown out. Just like evict me from this.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know,
if
I don't know.
if I was there, you should be. I'd probably get beaten by that trivia book.
Yeah. All right, give you a concerto with both of them to each side of the head. We only got a few more questions to go, Slick Vic, and you've been on quite a roll here, so don't worry about it. Next question: which pop singer was the guest ring announcer for the Yokozuna versus Lex Luger match at WrestleMania 10? A. Corey Hart, B. John Bon Jovi, C. Donnie Wahlberg, or D. Marky Mark?
Oh man, this is a tough one. The pop star, huh?
Which
Marky
pop
Mark was,
singer? Yeah.
Okay, Marky Mark was not a pop singer. His brother Donnie might be. And what were the other two choices? A and B?
Corey Hart or John Bon Jovi. C was
go
Donnie
with,
Wahlberg and D was Marky Mark.
I'm gonna go with C. Donnie Wahlberg.
C. Donnie Wahlberg. Okay, so C. Donnie Wahlberg, and Slick Vic, you're right back on the good path here. We got to give you a little bit. Good job, Slick Vic. Next question. Madison Square Garden hosted WrestleMania 10. In what year did the Garden open on that site? It's a tough one.
What year the Garden opened?
All right, so here's the question now. I'm going to give you time to think about it. Madison Square Garden hosted WrestleMania 10. In what year did the Garden open on that site? A is 1971, B is 1968, C is 1973, D is 1943. So it's, I mean, if you don't know it, you just take a shot in the dark here because.
Yeah. 1970. What was the two 70s?
You got 71, 68, 73, or 43.
43.
Gonna go 43. Gonna go old school. Well, I'm just gonna have to say.
Fucking bullshit!
Oh, you just missed that one, Slick Vic. The correct answer to that question was 1968. Obviously, the Garden has had several iterations over the years. That particular one, 1968. Two more questions, Slick Vic.
Shit question.
Adam Bomb lost to Earthquake at WrestleMania 10. Where was Adam Bomb from? A. Harrodsburg. B. Fire Island. C. 3 Mile Island. That sounds like a Wind Waker island. 3 Mile Island. Or D. The Nuclear Wastelands.
It's C. 3 Mile Island.
Oh, so Adam Bomb was from 3 Mile Island? All right,
Yeah.
well, Slick Vic, I'm trying to highlight that for you because you got that one right. All right. How did you know that?
I remember Adam's Gimmick hometown.
3 Mile Island. All right. One more question, Slick Vic. To end the show, you got to end it on a good note. I think you're going to get this one. I think you have this. I think I know this one, actually, without even looking at the answers back here. But the last question for WrestleMania 10. Who was the guest timekeeper for the Bret Hart versus Yokozuna match at WrestleMania 10? A. Rhonda Shear. B. Donnie Wahlberg. C. Burt Reynolds. D. Jenny Garth. And I was wrong. I thought I knew that one. I didn't know that.
Did you guess Burt Reynolds?
Yes, that was going to be my guess.
He was the ring announcer.
Yes.
Oh man,
Who is the timekeeper?
I'm gonna go with Rhonda Shear.
Rhonda Shear. Oh, Slick Vic.
Fucking bullshit!
You missed the last question. The actual answer was Jenny Garth. Wow. Okay. Well, Slick Vic, you can't be faulted for that. I think there was 12 questions. You missed 3 of them for WrestleMania 10. And, of course, for WrestleMania 3, I think you only missed 1 of those. So good job, Slick Vic. That's been trivia for tonight. You did stupendous. How are you enjoying trivia, Slick Vic? Do you like it?
It's a lot of fun. I do. Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's very informative. Like, if anybody was to ever ask me a random fucking question, like, I would remember just because I've done it on this show. Like, Jenny Garth. I know, it's Jenny Garth. Good job, though,
now I won't forget it.
You'll never forget it again. And that has been trivia. Once again, enjoy it very much, ladies and gentlemen. And if you enjoy it, let us know in the comments. But that is the show, Slick Vic. We're going to hit the old bell if we can, because it's time to depart. And once again, as we always do, reminding you of where you can find us. Obviously, we're right here on Facebook, facebook.com/wrestlingwithpower, where we are live every Tuesday night, where we post all of our updates, news, whatever I feel like you need to know, I'm going to let you know. Once we get our episodes edited for your viewing and listening pleasure, you can find them over on YouTube, youtube.com/@wrestlingwithpower, Spotify, search Wrestling with Power. You can find all of our episodes on that. Slick Vic, I've mentioned it multiple times before. I'm a big proponent of Spotify. I listen to our shows on Spotify every time we get them done and I get them edited. I can't wait. I'm very excited to be able to listen to our shows back because it's a good time. It's a good time. It's one of the best podcasts going today. But that's where you can find us, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're just over 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 42. Next week, we're going to be doing our retro review of WrestleMania. So make sure that you follow us on Facebook. We're going to be revealing here in the next few days which WrestleMania we're going to be doing a retro review of. We're going to do that next Tuesday. And then, of course, the week after, we're going to have Slick Vic's picks on WrestleMania 42. And then the week after that, man, we're going to be very busy because we have the Hall of Fame, we have WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2. We got a lot, Raw and SmackDown. So the deck is stacked against us here. We might have to take a week off after WrestleMania just to refresh because it's going to be a lot here coming very soon. But that's where you can find us, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow, share, like, all that stuff. Send it to your brothers, sisters, cousins, everybody in your family. And I want to wish you all, well, Slick Vic is the one that wishes you. I just want to remind you to stay powerful.
And I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. You almost stole my line there.
That's my line. See you later, everybody.
Bye.